AITA for kicking my sister out on Thanksgiving after she repeatedly woke the baby. This happened last week and my mom and sister are still upset. My wife gave birth a month ago. We usually do Thanksgiving at my mom's house, but with the new baby we decided to do it at our house. This year with mom and sister coming over early to cook. Baby had a terrible night the night before Thanksgiving. When my mom and sister came over to cook, I warned them that baby and wife were finally sleeping, so please be quiet. My sister repeatedly made noise and woke up baby multiple times. I kept warning her. She said she wasn't trying to make a lot of noise and was just cooking and was trying to be as quiet as she could. By the third time my wife was in tears and so was baby. My wife flipped and demanded I get everyone out of the house. I didn't want to kick my mom out, but since sister was the one making the noise, I told her to just leave before my wife lost it more. She argued with me but eventually left and my mom went with her. They ended up going to a restaurant to eat. We ordered takeout and a lot of the uncooked food went to waste. Wife is still upset because she thinks they should have been more considerate of baby and babies. First Thanksgiving was ruined. Mom and sister are upset because they claim they were being quiet as they could and we kicked them out anyway. We usually do Thanksgiving at my mom's house, but with the new baby we decided to do it at our house. This year with mom and sister coming over early to cook. When my mom and sister came over to cook, I warned them that baby and wife were finally sleeping, so please be quiet. My sister repeatedly made noise and woke up baby multiple times. I kept warning her. She said she wasn't trying to make a lot of noise and was just cooking and was trying to be as quiet as she could. She argued with me but eventually left and my mom went with her. They ended up going to a restaurant to eat. We ordered takeout and a lot of the uncooked food went to waste. Wife is still upset because she thinks they should have been more considerate of baby and babies. First Thanksgiving was ruined. Mom and sister are upset because they claim they were being quiet as they could and we kicked them out anyway. The baby is less than a month old. They literally cannot process faces yet, much less solid food. Get over yourselves. Thanksgiving requires noise. Having company makes noise. Demanding you host and that everyone walk on eggshells for your baby is untenable. Throwing out your family and wasting food is awful. This is a situation entirely of your own creation and bad choices, which might be partially due to being new parents and lacking sleep, but not enough to spare you the YTA. YTA. And your wife is ridiculous if she actually said, baby's first Thanksgiving was ruined. This is a 1-month infant and it barely knows anything. You should not have offered to host at all with a newborn in your home. You should not have asked people to come over early to cook and then hassled them about making noise in the kitchen. I'd have to say YTA. You invited people to your house to cook with a 4-week-old in the house and a wife who is 4 weeks postpartum with all of the sleep deprivation and hormone fluctuations that entails. Baby won't remember Thanksgiving. Baby won't even remember next year's Thanksgiving. Cooking is a noisy pastime. You'd have been better going to your mom's with the new baby in tow, and then leaving when you needed to. YTA 4. Inviting people to cook Thanksgiving dinner at your house with an infant and expecting them to make zero noise. Like, literally what the hell? YTA, your expectations were completely unrealistic. There is no way that you should have hosted with a newborn. YTA. What? How does one cook in complete silence? YTA cooking, especially the scale to be done for Thanksgiving, is noisy. This is the exact reason you should have done it at your mother's house. You, wife and baby show up in time to eat and then leave. Your house stays quiet and clean and food doesn't go to waste. YTA. You decided to have Thanksgiving at your house with a 1-month-old baby? You were setting the day up to fail. At least if it was at someone else's house. Then you could leave if the baby was getting too tired or fussy. And everyone else could still have their Thanksgiving. By hosting Thanksgiving at your house, you made sure that no one would be able to celebrate unless everything went perfectly for your baby. Which, if you didn't notice, takes a miracle and a half. YTA. But only because this was a terrible idea to begin with. You and your wife shouldn't have had a party with a newborn and instead of kicking them out, should have come up with a new idea for dinner yourselves. Cooking is loud and holidays are for family get-togethers where talking is expected. YTA. Why didn't you cook if you were hosting? And then expecting your sister and mom to cook for you while being quiet for a newborn? YTA for the line, baby's first Thanksgiving was ruined. YTA and so is your wife. I just can't figure out which one is worse. They came over to cook Thanksgiving dinner for all of you. I don't know how quiet you think this would be, but why invite anyone over in that case? This simply tell me that you nor your wife has ever cooked a big meal before or any meal due to. It's not a real quiet time. Food went wasted because of you and your wife. I'm on your sister and mother side. YTA. You kick your mother and sister out of the house after you invited them for Thanksgiving because they were making too much noise cooking the meal for your family. Why were you not cooking if you were hosting? I honestly can't believe how rude and appallingly you acted. Sounds like you and your wife ruined everyone else's Thanksgiving. Your family was trying to be accommodating, changing the Thanksgiving traditions and norms so you and your wife could be comfortable. But you know noise happens when you cook. If she was not talking loudly and was not playing music and it was just the pots and pans YTA, and you owe your entire family an apology. And your wife needs to learn first baby and new mom does not mean the entire world bends the knee. Like there are thousands of new moms and babies with firsts who are dealing with a lot worse than one night's bad sleep, who are not making these kinds of demands on the day you are supposed to be most thankful for family. YTA. So you brought them to your house to cook your Thanksgiving with a newborn. And you couldn't predict this outcome? I think it's ridiculous you were hosting in the first place given newborn and wife postpartum. And irresponsible given your baby's barely existent immune system. But I can't imagine a world where you thought cooking Thanksgiving is a quiet activity. YTA. If your sister was making cooking noises, then just tell her to stop cooking and everyone could have takeout. Then you complain that uncooked food went to waste. Well, because you kicked them out. This has got to be a joke. You should have left it to your mom. YTA. YTA. Baby first Thanksgiving? No one will remember this Thanksgiving but your mom and sister. Unfortunately, you tried to host and it didn't work out. If you invite people to your house, don't expect to get a lot of sleep. Someone deserves an apology and it's not your wife and baby. ETA. I had 2 months-old twins and a 2-year-old. Hosted Thanksgiving at our house. Phil cooked. I handed 1 baby to dad, 1 baby to sister and went to bed for 2 hours. There were plenty of people to help with this 1-month-old while mom took a nap. YTA. If you weren't ready for a big Thanksgiving, then you should have had just a little one with you, wife and baby at home. Or even just sat out Thanksgiving this year. Or let someone else have it. And just pop over for an hour if your wife and baby were too tired for the whole thing. If you couldn't host, then you shouldn't have hosted. YTA. Why would you even ask them to host Thanksgiving at your house and do all the cooking? Cooking and prepping makes a lot of noise. Also, talking makes noise. It's a holiday to celebrate. You shouldn't have had them come over and just don't do anything for the day. You owe them an apology.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.